Welcome to the deep dive.
Hey there.
So today we're diving into Gotbackup. It's based on a recent webinar we found.
Yeah, the YouTube transcript, Welcome to Wednesday night's webinar, had Christian Jangro, someone named Tammy.
Right. And Joel Terry, who's actually the owner.
Got it.
And our mission really is to pull out the key stuff, what the service is, their security, market context, and this business opportunity they keep mentioning.
Okay, sounds good. Where do we start?
Well, let's look at the presenters first, Christian and Tammy.
Okay. They mentioned they're in Daytona Beach, Florida, and interestingly, they have like 25 plus years in network marketing.
Yeah, quite a background. And they frame it all around, empowering families, financial freedom, themes you often hear in that space.
Right. But they also said they were a bit skeptical at first when Joel Terry came to them.
Exactly. Because they were used to maybe more traditional products.
Yeah, seemed like it. What apparently swayed them was that Gotbackup is a digital service.
Okay, so they saw the shift happening towards digital.
And felt Joel's vision matched that trend, made them look closer.
Makes sense. Which kind of brings us to the why behind it all. Why does this service even exist?
Well, the webinar really hammered home the data explosion, especially from smartphones.
Oh,
They threw out a number, almost 15 billion smartphones globally.
wow. That's a lot of data being created constantly. Photos, videos.
And think about how much we use them now. Mobile internet traffic, they said, went from like 6% in 2011
Tiny.
to 60% in 2023. We really do live on these things.
Oh, so all that data needs to go somewhere.
Exactly. And that leads into the cloud storage market itself. It's huge and getting bigger.
Right. They had some projections.
Yeah, something like $90 billion in 2022, predicted to hit $500 billion by 2030.
$500 billion. That's massive growth.
It really is. It shows this isn't just a niche thing. It's becoming fundamental. Remote work, 4K video, It all adds up.
It fuels demand. Though I suppose it also means more competition out there.
Absolutely. Providers have to keep stepping up their game.
They also kind of joked about our cell phone addiction.
Yeah, but it's true, isn't it? We use them for security cameras, alarms, looking stuff up instantly.
Guilty. YouTube answers everything.
Yeah. But all that usage creates more data, which creates a problem. Or risk.
The risk of losing it all, that's a big one.
Definitely. They cited a stat, something like 45% of users have damaged their phone or lost data accidentally.
Ouch. And the cracked screens. Thousands every hour.
1,700 an hour, I think it was. So it's a very real possibility you could lose stuff.
And it's not just the phone itself, it's the memories, right?
Yeah.
The photos, the videos you can't replace.
Precisely. And then there's the frustration of that storage full message popping up.
Ugh, the worst. Then you're stuck deleting things or paying Apple or Google more money every month.
Which is exactly where Gotbackup positions its product.
Okay, so what is the product exactly?
The core offer is 6 terabytes of cloud storage.
6. That sounds like a lot.
It is. For context, that's potentially hundreds of thousands of photos, hours and hours of video for most people.
And what about sharing that? Or using it on multiple devices?
That's a key feature they highlighted. One subscription lets you have up to 6 separate accounts.
Oh, so like for a family. Each person gets their own private space.
Exactly. Main account holder plus 5 others. And you can back up from an unlimited number of devices under that single plan.
Okay, interesting. And the cost?
$9.97 a month? Or $99.97 if you pay annually, so a small saving there.
$10 a month for 6 terabytes and 6 users. How does that stack up?
Pretty well, actually. They compared it to iCloud, Dropbox, Google Drive.
The big names.
Right. Who often give you maybe 2 terabytes, usually for fewer users, around that same price point.
So on paper, it looks like more bang for your buck.
Yeah, though, competitor prices can always change, so it's worth checking.
True. And they mentioned a guarantee.
Yep, a 30-day money-back guarantee. It shows they're pretty confident in it.
Okay, so decent offer. But what about security? Storing all that personal data.
Crucial point. And they had Joel Terry, the owner, talk about this directly from their tech room in Texas.
Right. What did he cover?
First off, PCI compliance. That means they meet the standards for securely handling credit card info.
Okay, that's important for payments. What about the data itself?
He mentioned physical security, 2 coded doors, jokingly called it Area 51.
Okay. Sets the scene. But the technical stuff.
That's where redundancy comes in. He explained their storage arrays each has 14 hard drives.
Okay.
And the system can handle up to 4 of those drives failing in one array without losing any data.
Wow, that's quite a buffer.
But they go further. They apparently mirror everything. So all the data on one rack of servers is completely copied to another separate rack.
So no single point of failure. If one whole system goes down.
The data should still be safe on the mirror. That's the idea.
Makes sense. What about things like power, cooling, server rooms get hot?
Address that too. A, and B, power sources for every server, so backup power. And 4 AC units in the server room designed for efficient cooling.
Okay, sounds like they've thought about the physical infrastructure. Fire.
Yeah, interesting system there. No water sprinklers.
Right. Water and electronics don't mix.
They use an oxygen deprivation system. Basically, it reduces the oxygen to put out a fire without damaging the equipment.
Clever. And hopefully never needed.
He did mention they haven't had a fire in 25 years, so that's reassuring.
Good track record. Now what about digital security? Hackers and stuff.
They use military-grade 256-bit encryption.
Okay, I've heard that term. What does it mean practically?
Think of it like an incredibly complex digital lock. 256-bit means the number of possible keys is astronomical.
Making it basically impossible to brute force guess the key.
Exactly. It's the same standard used by, Amazon, Google, Microsoft for their secure services.
So industry standard, high-level stuff.
Seems like it. Of course, how well it's implemented always matters too. Things like security audits would give even more confidence.
Good point. Okay, so security seems robust. How easy is it to actually use?
They showed a demo in the webinar, installing the app on an Android phone.
And presumably it's similar on an iPhone.
Yeah, they said App Store or Google Play Store, pretty standard setup.
Did it look complicated?
Not really. Once installed, it automatically creates an upload folder. On iPhone, it's apparently called iPhone Upload.
Okay. And getting your photos and videos in there.
You've got options. Auto upload for new stuff as you take it.
Handy.
Or you can tell it to upload your whole existing camera roll. And there's a setting to only upload over Wi-Fi.
Oh, good for saving mobile data.
Yeah. And once things are backed up, accessing them looked straightforward. Photos organized by year.
Simple enough. Any other features?
They mentioned an upcoming one being able to see your computer files within the same interface, so better organization across devices.
Unifying it all.
And they touched on collaboration. Drag and drop file sharing, multiple people working on, say, a PowerPoint stored in the cloud.
So a bit beyond just personal backup then.
Seems like they're aiming for a more rounded cloud service.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit. The other big part of this webinar was the business opportunity.
Right. Earning income by sharing, that's a tad backup.
How does that work? What's the first step?
They talked about the customer acquisition bonus, or CAB. It's an upfront commission.
Yeah.
If you sign someone up for the $9.97 monthly plan, you get a 200% commission.
200%, so like $20.
Roughly, yeah. They gave an example. Sign up 20 people, that's potentially $400 upfront.
And for the yearly plan?
It's 50% upfront on the first month's value of the $99.97 yearly plan, plus 25% on any extra VIP purchases they might make.
And what if someone just wants the storage, not the business side?
You still get a commission, 25% ongoing recurring commission for your direct customers.
So potential for some residual income there too.
That's the idea. Then it gets into team building.
The network marketing structure, left team, right team.
Exactly. You build two legs or teams. As these teams grow, you can qualify for cycle bonuses.
Okay, cycle bonuses. What triggers that?
You need to be active yourself, obviously, and you need to have personally enrolled at least 2 people, one on your left, one on your right.
Got it. Basic qualification.
Then a cycle happens when your teams grow in a specific ratio. They mentioned 6 new people joining your overall team structure,
right,
with a 4.2 split. So 4 on one side, 2 on the other. It doesn't matter which side has the 4 or the 2.
And do those 6 people have to be your direct referrals?
No, that's the team aspect. But importantly, at least 2 of those 6 triggering the cycle must have been personally enrolled by you at some point.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it encourages both team growth and personal sponsoring. And they mentioned tiers.
Yeah, Tier 1 and Tier 2 cycling, with Tier 2 paying out more, presumably tied to rank or volume.
All right. What else is there in terms of compensation?
The matching cycle bonus. This sounded potentially quite powerful.
How does that work?
Once you hit a certain rank, they mentioned Sapphire, you start earning a percentage of the cycle bonuses earned by the people you personally sponsored.
Oh, interesting. So if I sponsor someone and they start earning cycle bonuses,
you get a match on their earnings, on top of your own cycles.
So that could really compound things if your team becomes successful.
Exactly. That's the leverage aspect they emphasize.
Were there other bonuses mentioned?
Briefly, yeah. Generation bonus, dynamic compression, rank bonus pool, leadership bonus, things that kick in at higher ranks, tied to team performance and structure.
Sounds like a fairly complex pay plan overall, typical of the industry.
It often is. But they also stress the simplicity of the core action.
Which is?
Just bring in two people, get your product paid for, essentially, and teach those two to do the same thing. Duplication.
Right. The two who get two model. Is there a cost to participate in this business side?
Yes, a $20 annual membership fee on top of the $9.97 monthly product cost.
Okay, $20 a year.
Yeah.
Pretty low barrier to entry for the business side.
It seems that way.
What kind of support do they offer people who want to build this business?
They provide personalized referral links, the web links you share.
Standard stuff.
And landing pages, like pre-built websites to send people to. Also, a built-in email marketing system.
Oh, included. No extra cost.
Apparently not. That could be quite valuable for follow-up and communication.
Definitely.
What else? Marketing tools, regular online presentations, like the webinar we're using as source material.
So they provide ways to learn and present the info.
Uh-huh. And Christian and Tammy mentioned doing specific team trainings on Saturdays, plus a coaching program for people totally new to network marketing.
So it sounds like quite a bit of infrastructure is there to help people get started.
Yeah, seems pretty comprehensive.
What about their reach? Is this just a U.S. thing?
No, they made a point of mentioning their global reach, currently serving members in 156 countries.
156. Wow. Out of roughly 190-something countries total?
Yeah, so significant penetration already, but still lots of room to grow globally. They definitely talked about momentum.
You can feel that energy in these kinds of presentations sometimes.
For sure. A sense of excitement about growth.
Okay, so if someone listening is interested, what's the call to action? Where does he go?
The main website mentioned was Gotbackuplive.com.
Gotbackuplive.com.
Okay. They said you can learn more and enroll there. And the system apparently tracks who referred you via the links.
Right, the affiliate tracking.
And once someone signs up, they suggested checking out the Use This Tool and Reseller Tool sections in the member area, the back office.
To find all those resources we just talked about.
Exactly. The core message was, it's a needed service, affordable price, plus this income opportunity attached.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. What are the key takeaways from this deep dive?
Well, Gotbackup is presenting itself as a pretty robust cloud storage solution, first and foremost.
Right. Hitting that need for data backup with 6 terabytes, multiple users, good price point.
Yeah, and they seem to take security seriously with the encryption, the redundancy, the physical measures. User-friendly app, too, apparently.
And then there's the whole other layer, the business opportunity.
Exactly. A way to potentially earn income by sharing the service, using a network marketing model with various bonuses like the upfront CAB and the cycling and matching bonuses.
Tapping into that massive, growing cloud storage market.
Right. So it combines the personal benefit securing your digital life with a potential financial benefit.
Okay. So that leads us to a final thought, maybe something for you, the listener, to chew on.
Given how much we rely on digital data now and how many people are looking for flexible ways to make money,
Right.
could a service like this that bundles storage with an income stream become more than just convenient?
You mean like almost essential?
Maybe. How might this integration change how we think about managing our digital stuff and our finances down the road?
What are the implications as everything becomes more digital, more connected?
Yeah, something to ponder.